Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. Today we are going to go to the Philippines and make a goat stew. So I have a pound of cubed goat meat, and this is meat and bones. I'm just going to put it in the bowl here. Now this is a stew based on a Philippine dish. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, but I will write it into the comments. So we have a pound of bone-in goat meat, and this does have skin. Okay. So we have a quarter cup of vinegar, just ordinary white vinegar, and then a quarter cup of soy sauce. And I'm using a light soy sauce. If you prefer, you can use a regular, like the dark soy sauce, but my preference is always for the light. Yeah, a little more than a quarter cup, but that's okay. Cooking is not an exact science. If you get a little more, don't worry about it. Or a little less. Then we want 4 cloves of garlic. Peel my garlic here, and we want to crush the garlic, so I'm going to just peel it up here. Or you could grate it or finely mince it, whichever is easier for you if you don't happen to have a garlic crusher tool. It might be easier just to mince it. There we go, and we're just going to give that a good stir. Get the garlic all in there. Everything coated in the vinegar and the soy sauce. Now this you want to do ahead of time. You could marinate it overnight. It's best to do 6 to 8 hours. But 1 hour will work. You're just not going to have the same amount of flavor in your meat. So we're going to cover it and put it in the fridge until we're ready to cook it. Alright, now that we've marinated our goat meat, we are going to brown it. So we have a large pan on medium heat. We're going to add some vegetable oil. This is a no-stick pan, so I'm not adding a lot. So we are going to brown the meat. But first we need to remove it from the marinade and pat it dry. Otherwise we're stewing it, not browning it. If your pan isn't large enough to do it all in one go, definitely do this in batches. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, or again, you're stewing the meat, not browning it. Now that our goat meat is thoroughly browned, we are going to remove it from the pan. A little helper for my spoon there. And just put it into a bowl on the side, or if you've been browning in batches, Just leave it on the plate or bowl that you've been using in between. I'm going to reduce the heat under our pan just a bit. Now we want to saute our onions and bell peppers. Actually, I am using just some mini sweet peppers. So I have one large red pepper, and you can use white, yellow, whatever you've got on hand. And your peppers, either a bell pepper, like I said, a red bell pepper, or what I'm using is several mini sweet peppers, orange and red. We're going to stir them around a little, and then we're going to add 2 flattened cloves of garlic, peeled and just flattened with a knife. Stir them around so they're all coated in the oil. So this is going to take about 5 minutes. You want to get the onion translucent. You don't want to brown it. So make sure your heat isn't too high. And just give it a stir now and then. And after about 5 minutes, your onions should be where you want them. Then we're going to add the tomato sauce. So 1 cup of tomato sauce. Stir that in. And I am using strained tomatoes, so it's probably a bit thicker than what you'll find most tomato sauces are. So now, since we don't actually need to cook this down to thicken it, we are just going to continue. So we're going to add our goat meat back in. And we're going to pour in our reserved marinade, and I am going to strain it to get the extra garlics out, or any bones or skin bits. And I'm going to add our beef stock in. 2 cups of beef stock. Stir it all to combine. Once we get it to a simmer, we're going to reduce the heat again so we can keep it at a nice little simmer and cook it 30 to 40 minutes or longer, depending on how old your goat is. Now, since I don't know how old this one was, because I bought the meat at the supermarket, I'm going to let it go as long as I can, because I don't want it to be tough. Alright, so this is about where you want it to be. So we're going to turn the temperature down. And keep an eye on it. We don't want it to be boiling any harder than that. We just want a nice light simmer. So we'll keep an eye on it and make sure our temperature keeps it at that level. Oh, it already smells absolutely wonderful. And it does smell a lot different than anything with beef in it, because it's not beef, but it smells fabulous. Our next step is to add our carrots And that's 2 carrots, chopped, and potatoes. And I have 3 new potatoes, just quartered, scrubbed well and quartered. And then, because this is a Philippine dish, I know it's not Philippine, but I have them in the fridge, so, well, freezer actually. They were left over from another dish. So I'm using some pigeon peas. Now, honestly, if this was a real Filipino dish, you would be using a lot of chilies. And the one it is based on has liver paste in it, which I don't happen to have, so it's not going in. But, oh, this is looking lovely and smooth and wonderful, and it smells absolutely great. And to be honest, we haven't really put any spices in it. There's nothing in it except what we marinated the goat in. A couple of garlic cloves. And it smells absolutely wonderful. So let me have a little taste here. One thing I am going to do though is add some salt. For my taste, it does need salt, and that's rare for me. So I don't use a lot of salt. Now we're going to leave that to simmer until the potatoes and the carrots are soft. So probably another 30 to 40 minutes. Alright, so now we're going to put in some salt and pepper. I've already added the salt, so we just need some pepper. I'm a great fan of freshly cracked black pepper. Although I don't like a lot of it. And if you want some spice in it, since it is a Filipino dish, well, based on one, you can put some cayenne pepper or whatever your preferred is. So I am, as crazy as it sounds, I am going to add some Korean chili powder. So it's about, I don't know, it's a few sprinkles. I doubt it's even a quarter of a teaspoon. But for me, I don't like super hot. That's probably going to bring it up just enough for me. You can always put a bowl on the table and people can, or a shaker on the table and people can spice it up to their liking. And the Korean chili powder is not as spicy as a lot of chili powders. I think we could actually do this some more. So, for this last 40 minutes, we're going to put the lid on at an angle. All we're waiting for now is for the vegetables to soften. This is my version of a Filipino goat stew. It is wonderfully flavorful, and it can be as spicy as you like. It does have potatoes in it, but traditionally it is served with rice as well. So I've made some coconut rice to go with. And it is absolutely delicious and wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you try the recipe. It is absolutely delicious. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon and you'll get notified when I put up a new video. And I will be back again soon with another one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you again soon.